What's up everybody, Aaron here. So in this video, it's another edition of what the hell is going on with Celsius and when are we going to get our money back. In this edition, or in this episode, there is a new plan that was brought before the court, and we will have until December 21st to get a lot of objections to this plan, which haven't really even started coming in yet. So this video is to get you all caught up on this new plan. You'll remember in my last video with Celsius, the SEC shot down the NewCo plan, so now they have a mining-only plan, which has been brought forth. I'm going to share with you how we got to this point, why this happened, why they think this will be a better plan for you. I'm going to show you the breakdown of how much money you're going to get in this new mining co versus the existing orderly wind down. I'll explain all about what happened there, why they didn't go with the existing orderly wind down, and why they are presenting this new plan. So let me give you an overview of what I'm going to talk about. So this is the new plan. It's 54 pages. I'm going to go over that. Then we have someone from M3 going over their ideas of why this plan is appropriate. Then we have someone from Alvarez and Marsal going over what they think of the plan, including this spreadsheet or this picture right here, going over how much they suspect we will be getting back. I'm then going to take a look at Twitter. So there's a lot of people in the community, other creditors voicing their issues and concerns with this. But I'm also going to talk about what Mike Cagney said, I believe yesterday or so. He says, I'm going to submit an orderly wind down bid. And he lists some information about why his bid will be different than the one that was just proposed. So I'll do my best to make this video as succinct as possible, but I do want to just educate you on all of what's going on right now. So this new plan will be approved or denied on December 21st. And I believe we have until mid-December until objections can be heard. So Celsius and the UCC's lawyers give some backstory about how we got here. So the plan that we voted on basically allowed the debtors, meaning Celsius, to implement the NewCo transaction, which was shot down by the SEC, or again, they could toggle to an alternate transaction that would create a standalone Bitcoin mining company, which is now called the Mining Co transaction. Here it says the debtors have negotiated favorable changes to the mining management agreement with US Bitcoin as compared to the backup transactions described in the plan. So much of what these documents talk about are why this new mining co is better for the creditors than what was originally proposed as the orderly wind down. And again, there is an entire slide talking about this, going over the numbers, which I will touch on a little bit later in this video. So here it says the debtors, meaning Celsius and the UCC, selected US Bitcoin as the sponsor for the Mining Co transaction. So Fahrenheit was the one that was going to run this NewCo, which was shot down. They won the auction last spring in large part to US Bitcoin's proven track record as an operator. So US Bitcoin, which is going to be leading this new plan, this Mining Co transaction, was already a part of Fahrenheit. So it's not like US Bitcoin is this brand new entity that nobody knows about. They were already involved in what was going to be Fahrenheit, which was going to be this NewCo. So they want this mining company to be listed as a publicly traded company. So this addresses the people that toggled to full crypto or full stock on the last vote. So a lot of you guys did toggle to one or the other. As of now, whether or not you toggled to one or the other, all of that is going to be void right now, meaning the whole toggling and getting more crypto or more equity, or if you want to get full equity, a lot of you guys did that the last time we had the vote a few months ago. All of that right now is going to be void. However, they said after receiving feedback from certain creditors, the debtors and the committee are discussing whether to resolicit distribution mix elections for this new Mining Co transaction and expect to make a determination prior to the hearing on this motion. So they may have to resolicit if people want to get full crypto or full stock. But even if there is a resolicitation, if you don't do anything, you are still just going to get the default, which is what most people are going to do. So here it says the committee believes that the effective date can occur by the end of January if the motion is approved. And there's a few reasons why, which I'll cover later in this video. Basically, the SEC has given them the green light to go ahead with this, from my understanding. So I want to read this paragraph to you just to give you a little bit more context on how we got here. So on November 9th, the court entered the confirmation order, basically approving the plan. That same day, which is a little bit ironic, the SEC notified the debtors that it would require historical financial statements for all of the debtors' assets to be contributed to NewCo in the NewCo Form 10. Because the debtors do not have and are not able to produce audited financial statements relating to any assets other than their mining business, the SEC's decision effectively ended the NewCo registration process. So we know that Celsius, the original Celsius, had horrible accounting. I've been talking about this for a long time, really ever since the Examiner report came out a long time ago. I don't even remember when. It was a long time ago. Basically saying, they were doing their accounting, I think it was like on in Excel, on spreadsheets, and it was just a disaster. So it says here, because the debtors, again, do not have and are not able to produce audited financial statements relating to any assets other than their mining business, the SEC basically ended the NewCo. But the SEC informed the debtors that it would not object to the debtors presenting audited historical financials of only the Celsius Mining Company in connection with the Form 10 to be filed for the Mining Co. transaction. I know this is a word salad, and that the debtors did not need to seek pre-clearance of the financial statement presentation for the Form 10 relating to just a Mining Co. So basically, the SEC says, we will allow the mining company to go through. But because you were such morons with everything you did and not having the ability to have audited financial records, we cannot allow this NewCo to go through. We cannot allow the Fahrenheit NewCo, I should say, to go through. So now they are talking about why the original orderly wind down that was presented as part of the plan is not the one they want to go with. And that was also called BRIC, B-R-I-C. So here it says that creditors, meaning yourself as a part of the plan, were also informed that the debtors may select a different backup plan sponsor if a different party provides terms superior to those offered by BRIC. So that is really the main point of what they're trying to prove here to the judge. Basically, the original backup plan, the orderly wind down that was originally presented, is not as good as the one that they have right now. So talking more about why they went with US Bitcoin, so they submitted a revised proposal in response to the debtor's request. The BRIC, which is this conglomerate that was originally going to do the orderly wind down, on the other hand, did not submit a revised proposal and instead sent the debtors a letter threatening litigation to compel the debtors to designate the BRIC as the backup plan sponsor. The BRIC's letter did not address the debtors' concerns that the backup plan administration agreement term sheet contemplated the BRIC providing services that the debtors no longer required from them, and did not provide requested details regarding the BRIC's mining plan. So what we have here is a he said, she said, or he said, they said, I don't really know, regarding the fact that they are saying BRIC did not give them the proper information for them to prove that they were still the best option for the wind down. So the debtors in the committee went with US Bitcoin to serve as the manager for the Mining Co. transaction. Why did they do that? Their view that US Bitcoin is the best mining manager available and will maximize the value of the Mining Co. Also, the favorable terms of US Bitcoin's proposal, and the certainty and speed of execution of the Mining Co. transaction. So now they dive into more detail about the mining facilities and Texas and stuff like that. So the debtors, meaning Celsius, expect that this Form 10 for the Mining Co. transaction will be filed shortly, initiating the SEC's review process for the common stock to be issued to creditors. So again, we are still going to get, with this plan, some stock, just like we were with the other plan. And I will cover right here a little bit later in the video exactly how much stock they think they're going to give us and what the total recovery will be. And also, they said the debtors and the committee, meaning the UCC's lawyers, White and Case, expect to send notices to creditors regarding loan refinancing options and withdrawal preference exposure settlements by early January. So by early January, which is, 4 to 5 weeks from now, the debtors and the committee expect to send notices about loan refinancing options, which is interesting, and also people that had a clawback or have a clawback exposure, those that withdrew over 100 grand within 90 days of Celsius filing bankruptcy, those people will be getting settlements or letters regarding settlements, I guess, by early January. Here it says the Mining Co. transaction requires no further action or approvals by the SEC to go effective and allow liquid crypto distributions to begin. So they're basically making the case of like, we are ready to go. We are ready to go with this Mining Co. transaction. The SEC gave us the green light here, and there's nothing else that needs to be done. We are ready to go. So this is a letter from Kenneth Erler, who is the managing director at M3 Advisory Partners. So what he says is that the original proposal from BRIC was obsolete in light of the progress that the debtors and the committee made in resolving some of the issues. So again, they said that BRIC did not offer them a better solution than this US Bitcoin Group proposal. So here's a little bit from Alvarez and Marçal supporting this new plan. It says that the debtors negotiated for PayPal and Coinbase to facilitate distributions of crypto on favorable economic terms. But here it says the pricing terms of the Coinbase agreement are sealed to protect commercially sensitive info. So I always wondered how much that we, the estate, is paying PayPal and Coinbase in order to give them the opportunity to get hundreds of thousands of new customers, because it's those companies that will most likely be distributing the crypto to all of us, depending on where you live. So let's go through this plan recovery waterfall. So on the left, we have the orderly wind down, and then we have the mining company, or this Mining Co. And these are as of May 31st pricing, so they are comparable because they use the same price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So two big differences from the top. For the orderly wind down, it would have cost more money to get out of this process, whereas with the Mining Co., it will be just $75 million. The orderly wind down was going to cost $50 million to capitalize the mining business, and this new Mining Co. that they are pushing to get approved is going to cost $225 million. Now, this is less than the $450 million that we were going to use to fund the original new co, but it's still a lot of money that is not coming back to us as liquid crypto. So here is something that people have a huge problem with and a huge question mark about: mining business valuation. So how much is the mining business worth? For the orderly wind down, they projected it was going to be worth $424 million. Now they project it's worth $565 million. So $141 million magically came into the value of the mining business. Now, why would that be the case if they're still using the same prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum? Obviously, right now, with the price of Bitcoin being higher, mining Bitcoin is more profitable, as long as hash rate and the competition for mining stays relatively the same, right? But they shouldn't be using that to calculate a higher mining valuation. So I'm not quite sure. It could be part of this Cedar Vale announcement, basically new facilities opening up in Texas and new agreements and stuff like that, but it is suspect. And this is the number that most people really care about right here. So basically, for the orderly wind down, we were going to get back 44% of our crypto. And again, this is May 31st pricing. So right now it would be quite a bit more. For this new Mining Co., we're going to get back actually less, 1.7% less. So for those of us that just want crypto and really don't want any stock, we're going to get back less crypto this way. But here they project that this new Mining Co., we're going to get back 7.5% more. But again, how are they increasing the value $141 million? That's really where this extra 7.5% is coming from. So they're proposing that we're going to get back a higher overall total recovery from 61.2% to 67%. Now, as I zoom in right here, this is the projected recovery for, I believe, today's price. Let me just check really quick. As of 11/17. So for crypto, we'd be getting back 51%, which is actually not bad. And then we'd be getting back 7.2%, which would be the same for the orderly wind down. This would be the illiquid asset recovery. And then we'd be getting back 17.5% in stock. So total would be 75% back. Now, again, this is on our claims. I have to say this is not based on how much Bitcoin you had. There's always going to be somebody in the comments who forgot about that, or maybe just haven't watched my videos, which is totally fine. So anytime we talk about percent back, it has nothing to do with how much Bitcoin you had. Remember that Bitcoin is valued at $19,880 at the time of petition. So if you had one Bitcoin, it would be 51% of 19,880. So that'd be like, I don't know, $10,000 or so. And then that would be paid back in Bitcoin, but it would just be $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. So kind of confusing, but I just want to remind you guys of that. So here's a chart of the Nuco transaction, which was shot down, versus this new Mining Co transaction. So basically the whole DeFi stuff, institutional loan portfolio, private equity, and venture capital investments will not move over to this new company. This is where the SEC said, hey guys, since you literally can't give us audited financials for anything other than mining, we won't let you transition or move that into a new company. So again, that's why we're just going with mining into this new company. We are still going to be capitalizing this new mining company with $225 million versus $450 million. So that's one of the main reasons that we're getting back more crypto versus the Nuco transaction. And they are saying that the fees will be less with this Mining Co versus the Nuco. But what they really should be doing in this chart is comparing this Mining Co to the orderly wind down, because the Nuco is dead in the water. There's no way we can do this Nuco. So I'm not quite sure why they have this chart here, because it really doesn't make sense anymore, because there's never going to be a Nuco. So a 75% recovery on your claim is not bad. That's if we actually get 17.5% back in stock, and if people that want to sell their stock can do so for 17.5%, right? We don't know if the price of the stock or the liquidity will be there for everybody who wants to sell to be able to sell. That's another challenge that we've all been talking about regarding the stock. We just don't know the liquidity. And that leads me to Mike Cagney. So Mike Cagney, he is the co-founder of Figure. Now, they were a part of the bid, I believe, earlier this year or even last year. I'm losing track of time. But basically what he said is that I'm going to submit an OWD, or orderly wind down bid. I'll publish the full plan shortly and will distribute the file as an objection with the court early next week. So that would be like this week coming up. But it will, one, distribute all the liquid crypto outside of the loan collateral to earn. Keep the loan book at the mediation terms, but finance the principal for distribution. Create Nuco as a mining, lending, and asset management platform, and he will contribute $100 million of his company's equity, and they will list on Figure's ATS with committed market makers and liquidity on January 1st, 2024. This is the best plan. He says, we don't need any SEC approval ahead of the listing. This gets you out of bankruptcy the first day of next year. And what Tony said on Twitter is that this was the bid submitted months ago that was tossed aside by certain members of the UCC. I think most people want a few things, and I'll just end the video with this. From what I've been hearing, most people, they want the most crypto back as possible. They also want this to end as quickly as possible, and they don't necessarily trust other people right now valuing or evaluating companies like mining or other things like that. They would rather just get as much crypto back as possible and then make up their own decision about whether they want to invest in another publicly traded mining company. There's a lot of publicly traded mining companies that I think have huge upside potential, and there really isn't any guarantee at all that this Mining Co. through Celsius will perform better than a publicly traded mining company. So people could just get more crypto back, sell it to US dollars or whatever your currency is, go on the stock exchange, and they could buy something like Riot or Marathon or CleanSpark or another one of these publicly traded mining co's. There really isn't any reason they couldn't just do that. So we'll see what happens. Again, we will be getting a lot more objections to this plan. Most likely the US trustee will chime in. The different ad hocs will chime in as well. So guys, that is it for the video. Thanks for watching. I'll include some donation links below. Also, if you've used sponsors in the past, that really helps me as well. well keep making these videos for you. I'm looking forward to getting out of talking about Celsius, hopefully soon. If you have any ideas about maybe what to talk about in the future, let me know. I'm looking at maybe interviewing people or just doing general crypto market updates. But if you have any ideas, let me know below, or just reach out to me on Twitter or, I don't know, Instagram or whatever. So thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.